Okay, so this first check for understanding problem is very similar to the first example we did. So we want to find the center of a circle that you can circumscribe about the triangle with the vertices 0, 0, -8, 0, and 0, 6. Okay, so then I'm going to draw this triangle. Okay, this is the triangle we are working with. Now, back in example 1, we found the perpendicular bisectors of the two sides that form a right angle to help us find the center of this triangle. So, I'm going to call these points A, B, C. So, A is at 0, 0, and B is at -8, 0. And if I want to find the midpoint for the perpendicular bisector, -8 plus 0 over 2, and then since both y values are 0, I can just keep 0. So if I do that math, we'd get -4, 0 for that point. So I need to draw the line x equals -4 to figure out where this point is. So x equals -4. We go back 4, be right here. So I'm going to draw a line through that point, -4, 0. Then A is still 0, 0. C is 0, 6. So if I'm trying to find the point for the perpendicular bisector, both the x values are 0, and then I need to find the average of the y values. So if I do that math, the point would be 0, 3. Sorry, this should be a 2. My bad. 0, 3. So my y line would be y equals 3. Okay, so 0, 3 would be right here, so I'm going to draw a line going through that point. Okay, and then those two lines meet at this point here, which if we circumscribed a circle around this triangle, that would be the center of it. So that point is at -4, 3. So that is the center of our circle. Then in part B, it says, in example 1, explain why it's not necessary to find the third perpendicular bisector. Well, if you notice, the point that the two lines cross at lies on the third side. So the line that's perpendicular to that line will go straight through that point as well. So the reason you don't have to find it is because the point of concurrency lies on the third side. Of the triangle. Okay, let's check out 2. Okay, the towns want to build a library that is equidistant from the 3 towns. Show on the diagram where they should build the library and explain. So I'm going to connect these dots so we can see our triangle. And the towns are the vertices, so we want to find a point equidistant from the vertices. So I'm going to go back to my theorems. Equidistant from the vertices would be this theorem 5, 6. And we need to use perpendicular bisectors of the sides. Okay, so perpendicular bisectors of the sides. So, if I draw a perpendicular line now, will this be perfect? No. But I'm going to draw it best I can. I want the perpendicular bisector of each of these lines. Okay, so pretending I'm a really great artist, this would be where we put the library. Now, why did we put the library there? Because perpendicular bisectors of each side meet at a point equidistant from the vertices or the towns. Okay, and then it says, what theorem did you use for this? We used theorem 5-6. That was the one we went back and looked at. Okay, number 3. Using the diagram in example 3, find mx and check that wm plus mx equals wx. So, we know that wm was 2/3 of wx. So that means that mx has to be 1/3 of wx. Well, we found that wx was 24, so 1/3 of 24 would make mx 8. And we can check it. We said wm was 16 plus 8, and 16 plus 8 needs to equal 24 if this works. 16 plus 8 is 24. 24 equals 24, so we're good. And last, is my the median, altitude, or neither? Explain. So my starts at this vertex, goes over here to this opposite side where it splits the side in half. Let's check out the definitions for median and altitude. Okay, so the altitude of a triangle is a perpendicular segment from the vertex to the opposite side. This is not perpendicular here, so it can't be an altitude. Let's check if it's a median. A median of a triangle is a segment whose endpoints are on a vertex and the midpoint of the opposite side. It's on a vertex, it splits the other side in half, so this has to be the midpoint of the opposite side. This would be a median. And our explanation is because its endpoints are a vertex and a midpoint of the opposite side. Okay, so there's a few examples to help you understand how to use those theorems a little bit more. Next, what you need to do is go ahead and get started on your homework, and if you have any questions, make sure you're asking. Go ahead, get your homework out, get going, and good luck.